people. Who's new? Raise your hand. Don't be bashful. Okay, good. You'll have a chance to introduce yourself. All right, did everybody check in? Oh.
No prize.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay, everybody scanned it? So is this everybody's favorite weather? Yes, I have a thumbs up in the back, yes. I have a thumbs down up here. Thumbs down. Yeah. My son he's in college now, but he's up in near Chicago this week, and they got there last night. He's doing a thing for school, and he was collecting snow and sending me pictures, and I'm from the Northeast. I'm like, oh, enjoy. He's loving it. I'm like, ugh.
I'm jealous. I've never seen snow.
No, something. Oh, okay. You'll see snow then. Yes. All right. So, a little bit of housekeeping here on our meeting. So, if we can refrain from side conversations, if you can mute your phone, and we are filming live on Facebook. So, if you want to text anybody that couldn't make it this morning and let them know to tune in, they are able to ask questions and participate in our meeting. So, I want to thank our host and sponsor. So, Mega Workplace. So, this is Mega Workplace, and they. George and Pam, they own the building, and this is for rent. If you have you want to do a workshop or a seminar, you can rent this beautiful building up here, and they've got a conference downstairs. If you need office space or you need a place to park it for the afternoon, you can rent those tables. They say reserved, but you can rent those. And they've got office suites upstairs and downstairs. So their information's on the back there if you would like to rent some space or host a workshop. I know a lot of people have hosted a workshop up here, so it's great. Now we have some resources here, and you want to get to know these people. And if you forget, you take a picture of them, so it'll remind you when you look in your camera roll. So we've got lead Ray Villegas in the back there. He's with Lake Economic Area Development, and you do want to meet with Ray and find out how can lead help you with your business, or maybe you're thinking of putting a business together. So chat with Ray. John with the Small Business Development Center. He's awesome.
Always free.
Yes, free resource right there. John's been helping me with my QuickBooks. I know many of you know my story with my QuickBooks.
He's getting A's this quarter.
All A's, thank you. And then Brian, he's with the UCF Incubator. He's not here this morning, but his office is downstairs. So all three of these folks have offices here in this building. So you definitely want to get to know them and just make a meeting and ask, how can you help me as a small business owner? That's all you got to do. And they will fill you with information. So get to know them. Take a picture of John and Ray so you don't forget. And then Marie's also a good resource because she's president of the Eustis Chamber. So you want to get to know Marie. And again, how can the Eustis Chamber help me with my business? So get to know these folks. So we've got our food sponsors, Happy Hippie Customs. We are food sponsors this morning, so thank you. And then Foxtail Coffee is our sponsor. So if you're looking to connect further outside of our meeting, head over to Foxtail here in Eustis and grab a cup of coffee and connect. So what is 1 million cups? What is it? Anybody want to give a quick answer without reading the slide? Connections, that's what it is. So 1 million cups, this is a national organization. Kauffman Foundation is the founder. Created by the Kauffman Foundation. They're right here. Okay. So this is a national organization. So every week, Million Cup chapters meet across the nation around the same time on Wednesdays. So we have our chapter. We have a chapter in South Lake. There's a chapter in Orlando, and there's one in Ocala. So we'd love for you to come here. But if you were curious to venture out and see what the other chapters are like, you're more than welcome to. It's free. It's free to present. It's free to come. And if you're on vacation, who likes to go on vacation? Who likes to work on vacation? That was sort of subpar. So, if you are on vacation, pack a pair of business casuals and look up the 1 Million Cups chapter. And it might be fun just to check them out and connect with some other people. So, like I said, there is no cost to participate in this. There's no cost to present. It's just a community-run organization. It's like business therapy, right? For those of you that have presented, it's like therapy session for free. Okay, come and get some ideas. So it's about presenting, not pitching, and it's about connecting, not networking. So we're here to connect. You never know where an introduction could take you to somebody else. They might be able to help you with your business. So if you are new, we have a new person. If you can stand up and
Hey everyone, nice to meet you. I'm Kishore. I also go by Kish. I'm working on a music startup called Udia Radio. Thank you.
Very cool. All right.
Name and business.
Hey there, I'm David Bradshaw. I don't own a business, but I work in IT.
Thank you for coming. Anybody? Any other first timers?
And you don't have to own a business to come, so thank you, Dave, for coming. This is a place to connect. And just
Wendy,
know
this might be a
others.
good time to shame everybody for not bringing more new members.
You're right, you're right. We need more new people. So everybody's homework, when you leave here, text everybody, actually take a picture of the room here of all of us. Here, you know what? Okay, everybody get your camera out and everybody smile. Okay, who wants to take a picture? Take a picture. Take a picture. And send it to your people and say you should be here. She's gonna take a picture. So everybody in the back, smile and wave. There we go.
Can I
That's
say
how
s-
easy it is.
Hey Wendy,
Yeah.
Video.
can I say something?
Yes.
Folks, if you guys can tell everybody that we're on Facebook Live and send that link to anybody that you know across the nation, that'd be great, especially around here, because it's so beneficial for all families. We're all trying to feed our families and stuff, and what a great way to share this information, especially when it's free information that a small business can take advantage of.
Yeah, thank you. So now look at her, she's doing what I said. She's texting me. Go you! Yes, thank you. All right, so that's what we want to do, invite more people, because this is a great group, and we have a lot of fun each week, right?
One more thing.
Yes.
Everybody go on their Facebook and please like and follow.
Yeah. Okay, so would you like to present? The answer is yes. Yes, you've presented, haven't you? Yeah. How was it for you?
Nerve-wracking.
Okay, well that's not what you're supposed to tell me. We should have talked about this before. Okay. She's lying, it wasn't nerve-wracking.
How's it been since?
I've blown up, so it's really important to give a presentation, let people know who you are, and find collaborations and get advice.
Now, when you say blow up, like hair on fire, like, oh my, like business is coming and it's great, or blow up like, oh, I gotta bury the business and move on? Swamped. You're swamped. She is swamped. Awesome. 300% growth. That's awesome.
Stephanie is our example of what 1 Million Cups is all about. Her and Arlene and several other people. This is what the program is all about.
And real quick, what is your business again?
Posh dining and charcuterie.
Catering.
Catering, charcuterie cups, boxes, sticks, bowls, you name it. Pretty much anything.
Food. She's food. Okay. Food. And who doesn't love food? Okay. So that's a quick testimonial of what this can do for you. So if you would like to present, come see one of us with these name tags. We are the community organizers and we'll get you signed up. We have a template that you can follow, so you don't have to, we're not just throwing you out there and saying, okay, create the presentation. We'll give you guardrails, okay, to follow and help you out. But it's anything, if you've got an idea, or you're thinking about going into business, or you have a problem, let's say like, I can't figure out how to get people to buy these. You all could help me figure out how to get people to buy these, right? I need ideas. So that's what it is. It's ideas. We're here to give the presenter ideas. So if you would like to present, come see one of us with a name tag. We'd love to help you. Get you signed up. So question of the day. This is our gratitude spotlight. Which veteran has made an impact in your life or community? Chance to give him a shout out. Arlene's got that.
My dad is a phenomenal human being, and he also learned a lot from my grandpa on my mom's side, who was also a vet. So vet to vet to vet to vet. They've made every impact possible, and they've touched everyone they can in the best possible way.
Awesome. Go Dad. All right. Nice job.
I don't have a favorite veteran, but I do have a great story. My wife is one of the newest members of DAR, if you know who DAR is, Daughters of the American Revolution. And in order to be in that group, they have to be able to physically trace your ancestors back to the Civil War. And she has 2 ancestors that fought in the Civil War, and those are my heroes.
That's cool. Yeah, very
I
nice.
got one. My granddad, he was in the Navy over 30 years, and he was a huge influence in my life growing up as a teenager and everything. He poured a lot into me, and became an entrepreneur because of him. Very open-minded and everything, but loved everybody. But and then he went into the police force afterwards. He was my greatest mentor.
Nice, all right, very good.
Yeah, I'm going to start with my dad. He would have been 100 last month. He fought in World War II. He started the ball rolling in my family because all my 4 other brothers have all served in the military. And we went to a veteran service last week at, I think it was First Baptist of Orlando, and it was amazing. They had 5 World War II veterans in attendance, the youngest being 102. They were just amazing people.
That's cool. Anybody else? No? Okay, well these are great stories there. Thank you. So the format for today, Miss Margaret is going to be presenting. She'll have 6 minutes to present, and then we're going to do a 20-minute Q&A. So get your thinking caps on because we need to help Margaret with business. So let's give Margaret a welcome.
Good morning. So everyone probably knows me with the 1 Million Cups organizer hat, and today I'm presenting on my day job. I do marketing for All American Construction Services, which in the past year has merged with Superior Restoration. So we're kind of in the middle of a rebrand. And so about the company, we have a collective 14, 15 years in the industry in mobile home and RV. We operate primarily B2B. We're not coming into individual residences. We're not converting your garage. We're also not building new apartment complexes. We sit firmly in the site work, remediation, restoration projects. We are experiencing a lot of growth. Probably had 5 or so new hires in this past year that are permanent employees, not just contract or subcontractors. And then, our brands are kind of merging. So what we've been looking at expanding is, both companies are Florida-based. We've started doing more work throughout the Southeast, and we're trying to figure out how to scale. A lot of our services, we've realized, can be transferred into other sectors of multifamily, so apartments, condos, student housing, commercial projects, and kind of that main goal is how do we position ourselves, how do we rebrand ourselves when the average consumer doesn't know what we do. We get the phone calls going, okay, can you come and do my residential project? We're trying to figure out how do we rebrand ourselves so people know when to opt in. Things that have really worked for us have been industry trade shows. Owners of the company are currently in Kentucky at an outdoor hospitality industry trade show. That's been really good for us. We've done email campaigns and we've done direct mail. We recently hired a new sales guy that has generated a lot of business because we're doing a lot of B2B marketing, so a lot of networking, a lot of trying to get to those decision makers and build a relationship within the company. So I'm going to give some examples of job sites, and then I'll kind of get to the ask of our current project. And if there's any questions that you guys have or want me to explain something, that'd be really helpful. So we're trying to figure out how do we position ourselves so that people know what we do, what we don't do, what the right words for that are. So I'm just going to show kind of through some of the job sites we have. So that's a clubhouse that we've recently renovated, a couple of communities. These are all Florida-based. Some of them are Lake County. So we can do parks, amenities, sports courts, redoing clubhouses, concrete work, paving, utilities. The clubhouse we just renovated. We do a lot of storm cleanup, interior restoration work. We can do punch out, we can do demo, we can bring cranes out, set up a new unit, haul it out, change the layout. And then hurricane cleanup. That is a lot of what we do. That keeps our lights on. So our latest idea that we're floating for marketing is doing a digital and print magazine. And the target audience for that will be these property managers, management firms. A lot of them are either small businesses or corporately owned. And we're trying to find an additional way to kind of bulk out our content quarterly of going, we know email works, direct mail has worked. How can we reuse all of that content, really build up a substantial website, and also stand in front of them, marketing our services regionally. And so we had a couple of, I've had a couple of ideas. I'm talking with someone who can produce that magazine relatively affordably. We're thinking quarterly, but I really like some kind of feedback on ideas, kind of start to fill in the gaps that we have on our branding and how, you know, if this is an idea we should pursue or not in the coming year. Thank you. Our challenges are, sorry, this is challenges. So I'm trying to figure out, what do I name this project? I'm going to be leading the creation of this, publication of this. I do all of our marketing. I do all our emails, our website, print materials, coordinating for when we're going to trade shows. I do all of our project management software, setting the sales guy's schedule, managing that database. We have probably 400 or 500 email contacts, probably about 2,000 to 3,000 postal contacts, and maybe a good 60, 70 past clients that we could retouch and try to generate more business from. So kind of the challenges are going, how do we name and brand this new venture going? It's going to be owned by the company. It's going to be a marketing asset for us, but we don't want it to just be, hey, these are services. We want to provide value to our customer and also position ourselves as a growing company in that sector. How do we deliver that? I know what the print costs are. We're not thinking about mailing them initially. It would be more trade shows or individual meetings, going our sales guys, following up with someone, hey, we're going to drop this off, keeping top of mind. And then, you know, we're going to have 18 to 20 pages of content, so we're probably looking at 4 to 6 articles. I'm going to need help writing some of that. Can I find someone who wants to, adjacent industry that wants to sponsor something, advertise their services? Is there someone that, you know, we can pay to help write, someone who wants to be showcased in that? How do I fill out the bulk of that content?
And then the CRM, tell us.
Yes, so for the CRM, we've used Brevo, we've used Constant Contact. We don't have any against either of them. Don't love them a lot. Constant Contact's going to be a bit costly once we get up to that couple thousand contacts point. So I really want to make sure we have something that's a good fit for our goals before we start investing in that.
So I have a question. So does everybody understand what a CRM is? Okay. You want to give the definition of it? Anybody want to give it? Okay. Tell us what a CRM educate us.
So it's kind of a client relations management. Somebody gives you a donation or.
Thank you. The CRM is client relations management. They go by several different names. But if you have somebody who's giving you a contract, or in my case, given a donation, I want to capture their name and address. That goes into the software, and then if you want to send them a thank you note, you can just, you know, do it. You have some of your templates already inside the software program, and then it would generate the letter of thanks, or it would generate a letter of looking for new services, or whatever it is, the templates you put in there, and that would save you from hand doing that all the time after you initially put it in.
So some of you may have used it. So a CRM, it tracks the activity of your people. Okay. So that's what you're looking to do, right? Track the activity of your contacts.
We want to track the activity of our contacts because we're working B2B, and a lot of, you know, our average client is corporately owned. They probably have, I'll just give an example of one. They have about 20 communities in the state of Florida. If we're doing work with 15 of them, we have those individual managers' contacts. Chances are there's a couple of regional managers. We want to be sending out emails to those park managers so that when they have a repair come up or they have a storm coming up, they're calling us first. We also want to be sending out things to that regional manager, but maybe a different set of content. But we also want to know that when I send the sales guy out to that community, he knows who he's walking in to meet with. Have we done business with them before? If not, do we have a contact at that company that we can connect with?
Okay.
Tracking all of that activity.
So we've got 2 asks, well 3. Okay. The magazine, naming, branding.
Branding of going, we know what we do. In our industry, we're well known, but because we've worked individual, personal relationships and built that, our online branding, our mail branding, our what does that company do, we don't have any name recognition outside of current clients.
Okay, so that's one.
Branding,
CRM, and some writing.
and how do I make a magazine?
How do we put together? Okay.
Heather Haynes with Lake County Social Scene. So my first question, I love that you're looking into making your own magazine trade publication. How many articles is your company writing and submitting to existing trade publications or Substacks online?
We have not submitted any articles before. We did some research and we will find on property management, you will see articles in trade magazines in the real estate, lending, property management space. 90% of that content is single family or vacation rental.
Right, so you have a space to fill.
Yes.
Absolutely. And that's one of the first things that I would do as you're starting to put together your plan for the future, putting this magazine together. I would see how well your concept works by putting in some of those articles. See what kind of a story that you can get to bring that traffic back to your website. Also, how many backlinks does your company currently have with other websites who link back to your website? That's going to be one thing I would challenge you to increase.
Okay.
Anywhere you could put it in that they will link to your website will be an additional star on your board.
That's excellent to know. Our website is new as of this past year. When I was hired, that was one of my first projects, was just get us back on Google so we're findable, get our social media set back up. And so right now it's limited. We have a strong LinkedIn presence, Facebook presence. Our website's okay. I know that that's something that needs to be invested in, but I did not know about the link backs, and I like the idea about getting featured as ads first. Okay, left.
Good morning, Brian Nedavanti,
Good morning.
Advertising and Branding. You're telling me you have a stack of a couple things that need to be done. So the first thing I'm thinking of is how you need to prioritize what you're looking at. So I think the magazine is something that you guys want to do, but I think it's kind of a want. I think you have a lot of other avenues that you can pursue. Now you could use it as a lead magnet or something like you said for a trade show. But once you start talking about trying to put together this huge cohesive document, getting consistent content, logistics of delivery, you have a lot of other magazines and local magazines that already reach a lot of people. Todd's a great person to talk to about that. If you buy space in there, you're already going to get in front of people instead of having to try and figure out how you're going to get in front of people. Because unfortunately, the one thing I will say is all marketers have great intentions, but they all think they have this great idea for this product or this thing that somebody needs, but it's not really anything anyone's asking for. So using it in the place where it's going to be most effective is probably going to be the best bang for your buck. Maybe a 4-pager versus a whole magazine for a trade show as a lead magnet is good. But before you even do that, if you guys are in the process of rebranding, I think your identity needs to come first. Because everything else that you're going to do, as you just mentioned, needs to follow that brand. And you need to be use a scalpel with it as you do it. If you rebrand everything and you don't have a name on it that is recognizable, you're losing all the traffic from what you previously had. So I would say focus on your brand first, fix your CRM and your operations next so you don't lose out on all the data that you already have, and then look at doing that lead magnet second, or just jump in and talk to somebody like Todd who can get you into a magazine that already exists. So.
Todd Headley, Neighbors of Lake Eustis Magazine. So I was going to say, as someone who makes a magazine full-time, it is a full-time job. If you're going to make a monthly magazine that's going to be engaging, it's a lot of work. It could work great for you. Your quarterly magazines, people forget what they are in between when they get them because it's been 3 months and, what is this again? Oh, there's no familiarity. It's not all the time. You're going B2B, so it's more of what articles can you do that engage that business owner? What's going to make it sit on their desk? Because if they read it once and throw it in the trash, it did you no good. That's the same as a 2-second Facebook ad. It's got to be something that's got staying power. So Ryan's absolutely correct. If you're going to do that, you've got to really hone in on what is your niche. What articles are you going to give and put out and content, and then to get it paid for, you're going to have ads in your magazine. If you're telling somebody, hey, I'm going to get you 4 insertions this year, that's not a lot for them to put ad dollars in. So I would stay away from a quarterly magazine if you're going to do it. It should be monthly, but it's a big undertaking. I'd love to help you with it though. Let me know anything I can do for you.
Okay, thank you.
John Reeves, SBDC. I'm going to back up a little bit. You're in the middle of rebranding 2 entities that had different mission statements. Is that kind of where you are?
So both owners of the company are still active in it.
Okay.
And
but they were doing different things, right?
They they were doing different things. The past 2 or so years, they've been operating under the same team.
So,
The company,
what's the new company's mission statement?
that's something that need to get them to file down on. Going, what's our mission statement on this? Are we keeping this kind of, this is the in transition
Mhm.
logo.
Okay.
Going kind of merge the two. Superior Restoration really had no online presence at all. It was largely industry of going, he worked for a major manufacturer doing all of their setup for the region. And so he has a lot of contacts. They just knew him by Sammy. Of going, I call him when I need this stuff. Kyle's side of the company is going, he has some local recognition, he's been involved in chambers, he's done work for several small businesses, Amber Brook, a couple of churches, he's done some commercial projects, demolition. And so there's not a solidified mission statement, we don't have a solidified brand, this is kind of what we've been doing in the meantime.
You kind of need to decide who you're going to be before you can decide where you're going to go.
Correct.
I would second everything that was said so far. Branding's really important. So you're merging 2 CRM systems as well?
No.
No? Okay.
We're merging notebooks and stacks of business cards. I'm creating CRM systems.
Okay. There are open source options if you're into that kind of thing that give you total flexibility on what you want to do, but it's also a real pain. There's no cost associated except your hosting costs and hiring somebody to manage that, unless you happen to have that skill set. That might be a way you want to at least investigate, rather than being beholden to some third party that owns all of your data and all of that kind of thing. If you own it yourself, you can do with it what you want.
Okay. I'll look into that.
Just an option.
I've done my own web hosting before, but not open source.
All right, so I'm gonna back into a couple of things. I'm gonna first question for Todd and Ryan. In advertising, and I wanted to follow up on Todd's comment about quarterly. What is the average, or how many months does it take until people start to remember or know who you are from advertising?
6 to 7 touches.
Okay.
I think it depends on your vertical and how much your competition saturated market, because you're competing against everybody else.
Okay, so I wanted to get clarification from them on that, and why, to Todd's point, the quarterly, it's gonna take forever to reach that touch. I think the other thing is, you've got to narrow down who is your market. Which jobs are too small? Which jobs are too big? This is my market. Now you can target through that, and I think there's information you can get through the HBA, the Home Builders Association, to show which builders are doing how much business, and they may be somebody to target, because if you have a large builder that is not looking to do clubhouse renovation, or they get jobs that they're looking to walk away from, they may be the ones you want to target. But you can really narrow down, this is my market, this is who I'm going to target. Honestly, the marketing, I don't know anything about that. That's why these guys are here. But I think you have to know who are you targeting the advertisements to, and narrowing it down of where you fall in. And I think Todd said what your niche is really going to help figure out who now do I want to bring into this. And then you can bring advertisers in the same way, because find out who they're, you have similar target markets. Stephanie.
I got one.
Great, go ahead.
So since you're in the business realm, you got to look at the different industries that are within that. And from a financing standpoint, from a lending aspect, is one industry. You got the home builders and manufacturers is another industry, and then you also have the construction and manufacture, or construction and services. So content-wise, you won't have to reproduce anything and potentially have someone in-house, other than for your own content that you guys produce, from examples of what your site work is and what things that you came across that were things that people wouldn't consider in the state of Florida or another state if you're going to be national. So what I would say to you is that this is going to encompass a few little things here on your list there of challenges, is that I would go to those different industries, let them provide the content, and connect with whoever's the contact writer for that subject matter, manufacturing, services, products, and then that will also encompass the advertising for it because they're going to want to advertise in your magazine, and so that will kill two birds with one stone. But one big thing is that since you guys are going to be nationwide and everything, every state has different rules and regulations for different things. That's one thing that maybe that in-house content writer really emphasizes business to business, because then they see, the industry knows, hey, if I'm in Arizona and I know mobile homes very well, but then in the state of Florida we sell or purchase these communities. Well, if you guys come from the aspect of knowing the zonings or rulings for the state of Florida, guess what? They're going to go to you over somebody else.
You can go ahead.
Stephanie from Posh Dining and Charcuterie. I'm also an author, have a couple of books. I love to write just because, so I'm very interested in the article writing. I know nothing about what you do except what you just told me, but I'm very good at researching and getting to know what I'm writing about, so keep me in mind.
David. So I used to work at a magazine company, and they actually had multiple publications where they did like local lifestyle publications, they did business, they did quarterly, and I will say that the quarterly did have a challenge, but their focus around the business magazine doing quarterly was to sell advertising. I think if you're creating content, you probably will be able to establish yourself differently. If your sole purpose is to create content and provide service to your target audience, your target market, but I think what we're talking about with like target market or target audience, like you probably already know who it is. It's the people that are reaching out to your company, but haven't. They're asking questions that they might not really sure what you do. They're asking you a lot of questions, and that would probably be the content you would create. Actually, look on your website. You don't have a Q&A section that I can find really quickly. You probably put one around your contact form. That way, you might be able to filter out some people that are looking for like their personal residence restoration. But having the magazine for trade shows and stuff, it'll help establish credibility in the area. So I wouldn't discourage it as much. So it's just going to live for a long time. You can have a higher print run, which will probably run like lower your cost per print. So I wouldn't discourage it. Just really target who you're writing to, and maybe start with some content on your website first.
Okay. Yeah, I mean our end goal is not to be selling magazines. We're not trying to be a print publication. The quarterly aspect is going, just ballpark numbers, is going, we have 6 main articles. I can, throughout that quarter, be pushing that in the email, linking it back to the digital version. We're now seeing how many interactions, how many emails open, if they reply, if they forward it to someone. We're getting that logged in the CRM. We see which companies are interacting more. I can then relate to the sales guy and go, hey, go check on this community here, set a meeting with that regional manager, drop them off a copy of that. If we can track who's interacting with our email content better, of going, I see it as being able to use both ways. Going, I'm going to batch write, 20 pages. All of that gets scheduled out on the website blog. If we're having guest writers, that starts to link our website to other websites. That gives us scheduled social media for the quarter, all our email campaigns for the quarter. Going, everything in that magazine will immediately get reused.
We have a plus comment.
Oh yeah, plus I forgot the branding side. I know there's a lot of focus on the branding. The magazine is going to be completely branded differently than the company.
That's what I was thinking, because if we brand it just as us, it's going to come across as a hard advertisement, as opposed to we're sponsoring the magazine, even though we're facilitating the making of it. We have other, we have good relationships with some of the manufacturers that, we come and do their setup. Or we have an insurance company, or we have a management consulting company that comes in and helps these property managers. Or we have, there's other trades that don't directly compete with us, that we contract with, that may be interested in that ad space. Where the branding of the magazine would need its own name.
Yeah, and there's currently not a publication that already serves this audience?
We have not found one. When we have looked into that, we will see things through the home builders associations. We do not work with them because they are looking for a GC to do new construction, and then they hand that over to the HOA. We are after that handover point. We can do new construction, 99% of the time it's not what we're doing. We're doing restoration, demolition, set back up, or outdoor work. We can come in and remodel, but usually that comes in as a block. For example, we're gonna come in and, like an average project, what we're working on right now is going with a management company we worked for before. We meet a different regional manager. He says, can you come and look at this community problem I just acquired? I have 70 units that are in this park of 120. I don't know if they're livable. Past managers didn't take care of it. It's trashy. I need an estimate to know how to fix this headache. We come out, we go 40 of them, we need to demo because it's not safe. It's going to cost more to fix them than put new ones in. These ones, here's your punch out estimate list. And we take care of the whole project turnkey. They don't have to deal with multiple project managers. We manage any subcontractors. At the end of the day, we're trying to be that all-in-one solution for that property manager. We're never going to get a job from a home builder association because we're not solving their problems. We don't get jobs from lenders because most of the time that's them with the individual homeowner. In that case, most communities are land lease or rented. We have done some work for co-ops. We can work with them, but it's a different process.
So we've got a few minutes left here. So I've got a couple comments for you. So your magazine, you may be ahead of yourself. And I say that because, did you say you've got stacks of business cards and scraps of paper with a database?
I have that all digitized.
Okay, so it's digitized. So a CRM, they are expensive. They're expensive. So I use Zoho, so that's one. And then HubSpot. And Ryan's probably got a couple he's familiar with too. I would invest some serious time before I start getting into a magazine and like Todd said, it's a lot of work to put it together. I would probably spend a lot of time on my CRM and get that going so you can get your data. Because that's low-hanging fruit right there, is people that you've already been meeting with. And then with your writing, we have a writer right here, I would focus on the website and optimize for your search engines and AI. And that's why I say I think you're ahead of yourself by putting a magazine together because it sounds like the house over here still needs to be cleaned up. I equate it to laundry on the couch, dishes in the sink. Clean the house, the digital house, because you're merging two companies and get that CRM robust. So it is a well-oiled machine, and then you've got the data. So when you do have a touch point at a trade show, you can look and say, well, we talked to John at this trade show, he opened this email, gee, it's time for a phone call to John, because he's engaged with us a couple times. So if it were me, that's where I would focus and put this on for 2027, that whole publication. And maybe do some advertising in 2026 and get some partners to advertise to offset the expense of the ad, would be my recommendation.
I got a question to ask you in a statement. What is the purpose of starting this magazine?
Part of that, a lot of it is we wanted to get some brand recognition on the company, so that goes back to do we change our branding or not. Most of our work has been Florida-based, but we've gotten licensed in other states, we've gotten set up with the DOT in different states. We have in-house permitting so that we don't have any trouble with different municipalities permitting. It's more working regionally. We've done work in South Carolina. We've never intentionally advertised out of state. We've done a lot of storm mailers. That's had good results. We've been tracking that, but that's all more recent. We're currently doing work in Tennessee and Kentucky, and that's something we want to keep pursuing.
The reason why I asked that question is that another thing to consider in regards to why you're doing this is what happens if this blows up and now you have all of this business. Are you infrastructurally set up to where you have the employees to be able to take on this extra work? And these are the kind of things to consider, the pluses and the minuses in regards to growth and all that. Because one thing I've seen with a lot of businesses, they'll go out and market, and then once they get the business, that's their downfall because they can't meet that demand.
Yeah, chicken and the egg of going and need more.
Well, it's not even chicken and the egg. It's literally they can't meet the demand, and then now they poured all this energy into marketing and got the work, but they can't fulfill it. And ultimately, in the end, you're really respected in everything, in whatever you do, is when you can complete the work, ultimately, right, in sales and service. So that's something to consider, because to me, and I know what Kyle does and what you guys do and everything, I just think that you got plenty of work right now here, and to really get that, and then I think that would actually get to other states, because you guys work with the same companies. You know what I mean? So they all talk, these managers of these property management companies and stuff, they don't want to reinvent the wheel. If they can make it simple, they talk to you, so that, hey, you know what, in another state, say, hey, we use Kyle for everything. You
Yeah,
know
we
what I
have a client
So-
that corporately, we have jobs currently in 3 states. And
Yeah.
2 and 1 we're estimating this week.
Because I would say, hey, measure, are you able to take on this growth?
You know, and that's one of the things I wanted to follow up based on that, which I think is a great thought, because you don't go locally to nationally in one league. You grow, you know, gradually, and that was, how are you going to handle the jobs if all of a sudden it does hit? And it's where, you know, do you have the contractors and the subcontractors in place if something from Texas comes in? You know, there's this. I think it's just something you have to be careful of. But from another perspective, because you use the word competition at one point, and we talked about none of them are your competition, because when you find out who you are, what jobs are too small, you're going to refer those jobs down to the people that do, and you want to find out who's going to handle the jobs that are too small. Then you refer down to them, because when they get a job that's too big, they're going to refer up to you, and then vice versa. And then if you're going to do it, give them free ads. Just throw them something, and don't limit the ads when you get to that point to just construction-based companies. Open it up to everybody, because it's not about what services they're getting, it's the customer base that the magazine is going to, and 90% of everybody in the room, that's going to be a potential customer for them. So just keep a broad horizon and a broad range on who advertises in it, or who you target to advertise in it.
Alright, so, we're about out of time.
Well, let's do 2 more.
Okay, do quick.
Alyssa, and then Stephanie. Hang on. Alyssa.
Alyssa Kays, Kays Design. I'm a graphic designer, so I'm kind of coming at this from like the rebranding perspective. How well are your 2 companies that are merging known already?
The Superior Restoration name is well known in the mobile home RV industry. He used to work for one of the major manufacturers doing all of their setup. He worked for them, and then he bought out their book of business because manufacturers don't like doing warranties and coming back out and fixing things for free. So he built his business based off of purchasing it out from that manufacturer. So he's well known there. He's 11, over a decade. He's been in that space. Superior Restoration has name recognition. All American Construction Services was started in 2020. We are veteran-owned small business, so when we've looked at government contracts, we have an advantage there. And we haven't decided if do we want to restart the company, are we going to rename it? Right now, it's tucked all under the same company. It's under our GC. And so there's a little, John's been asking me where my org chart is, and you know who works here, and
Job
who's
descriptions.
W-2, and who's 1099, and job descriptions, and are you talking to a staffing agency? So at the moment, I don't have the green light on going, are we going to rebrand or not? That's been this past year as we're in transition. So short answer, Superior Restoration has more industry name. All American we're not dropping because we have disabled veteran benefits.
The reason I ask is because if you're going to do a rebranding, if you're going to do that, you have to do a pretty big campaign to all your current customers, just like send out either emails or flyers, like remind them more than once at least that this is our new company. Because that's your people who can recommend you. So big campaign that way.
Alright, Stephanie.
Thanks, Stephanie. Go ahead. Go quick.
Well, I had a comment about Wendy talking about the housekeeping and how, you gotta kind of clean up the room before you can go into some of the business challenges. And I have to kind of support what she said and go back to the CRM, because I feel like that was one of your challenges, and I don't know people sitting behind me, but that is some of our challenges on how to get your customers into the database, get a thank you card, get a follow-up that goes to the GC. So when you do have the ideas, I would love to collaborate with you as to what
other people come up with.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that. So currently we have a CRM for all of our projects, and our sales guy uses that. The sales guy's relatively new, but he's been killing it. I get a report of all of what he's working on. With the CRM, I was looking for something that was better for marketing push, that I could see the dashboards and that I could assign to the sales guy. Sales guy's not going to be actively involved in using or managing the CRM. That's going to be more on me to report those metrics and then assign that work next.
And then the last question is the .cloud, since I'm not familiar with that.
That is another branding decision that was before my time. So.
Okay, I don't know what that
That's
means.
That was the email domain that we had before I joined the company. I don't have authorization to change that yet. So, I know.
I was like, oh, this is a nice website. I was like, oh, that's not that.
So going the logo, going the two names in there. Everyone likes the spade. That's Marines Associated, so we're probably going to keep that in some capacity. But yeah, the All-American.Cloud, that was before our time. All our email structure is on that, so it's not being changed immediately. I don't know if that's this year or next year.
Because you can have an extra one. You can have the .com and just have it forwarded to the .cloud.
Yes, and I haven't made a decision on what we're going to rebrand, which name we're going with, if there's a new name. So that is what we're currently at. Okay.
So, all right, let's give Margaret a round of applause. Thank you very much. And you'll be here after. Okay, so Margaret will hang around and you can continue the conversation. So, speed round of community announcements. I want to be respectful of everybody's time. If you have something happening this week, in the next week, and if the event has already been mentioned, please don't repeat it, okay? So this is lightning speed.
Name, date, and the event. Location.
Fresh Market at Fairhaven tonight from 5 to 8. There were 30 amazing vendors, and Lakeland Outpost in downtown Leesburg is having their official grand opening with different activities going on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Thank you. Okay. That was a textbook. Thank you. Who else? Upcoming?
This Sunday at Happy Hippie Customs, we have painting with a wallaby. Wallaby is like a small kangaroo, and we'll be doing from 6 to 8, and the proceeds go to help Prince Exotic Foundation.
I guess it's me, Marie Alberti, Lake East Syria Chamber of Commerce. Tomorrow we are having our Chamber Coffee Chat at the Chamber from 8 to 9. The coffee's free. It's donated by Scooters. Bring your little breakfast sandwich, come and sit, and tomorrow it's Sergeant Starling, who's our community outreach person for the Eustis Police Department, and he's there to answer questions and give good information. So you all are welcome from 8 to 9.
Thank you.
Also at Happy Hippie Customs, we have our Open Table Tuesdays. We're going to start doing game nights and stuff like that. And so this month, just come on out. We want everybody to enjoy a meal with us. Also, we have some prizes and auctions going on. The Sharon donated some tickets that we'll be auctioning off to raise money to help us purchase the food for these events. And some other businesses. I don't want to take up too much time, but come out and eat with us, especially in the month of November, Thanksgiving, and all that things.
The Christian Care Center over in Leesburg off Main Street is having their ribbon cutting on Thursday. It's open to everybody from 11 to 3. So if you'd like to do some donations and support the Christian Care Center, please go by. One of Marie's mentors and mine.
Thank you. Okay.
Good morning. I just want to talk about something we want to start doing. We're going to Uncork. We're going to do food, finance, and friends. But we want to start doing those group events with everybody. So we'll be there. It's next Thursday. I've got some little things here because I know everyone has to plan, and we'll be ready to go and run a good monthly. So great.
Hi, Flavor Time will be doing another kitchen takeover this Friday 4 to 9 at Feast Deli, right across the street over there, where the post office and ice cream shop.
Thank you. All right, and then pay attention up here on the screen. November 26th, we have a panel featuring all of these resources. So you do not want to miss this.
It's going to be normal meeting time. Instead of having a presenter, we're going to have it here. It's going to be Wednesday, 2 weeks from today. because it is a holiday and we might have a lighter turnout, but we want you to bring people so we have good turnout. We're gonna have every resource in the building that is here to help you grow your business. You bring questions, we're gonna bring thoughts. We just wanna open it up of how these 4 resources can help your business grow in 2026, 2027, and beyond. So we're still gonna meet in 2 weeks.
Okay, great. And you can connect with us on all of the socials. And did I miss anybody? Everybody got their announcements?
And then remember, you can put your event on the LEAD calendar, so that way when people go to the LEAD website, Ray, how many people do you have following the LEAD website now?
The website, I don't know, I mean, in terms of
It's,
socials.
yeah, it's like thousands, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're gonna have thousands of people, when they go to see what's going on with LEAD, your event's gonna be there on the calendar as well.
All right, so we're going to do a picture. Our final thing here is a picture. And can we go back one? Oh, okay, thanks. So your homework assignment is to bring people for next week. That's everybody's homework assignment. And thank you all for coming today. We'll see you next week. And if everybody can come up for a picture, we will take the picture.
All right, guys, gather up. Come on, Mark. Come on. Huh? Oh, you did?
Everybody out? Right finger.
You can make it if you try.
Got it.